Hello and welcome to the Healing Storm Wellness. I'm Shannon, founder of the Healing Storm Holistic Wellness and apothecary. Here we will discuss various topics associated with holistic health and alternative treatments ranging from around the world and our communities. Hi, I'm Shannon and welcome back to the Healing Storm Wellness. Today we're going to dive into massage therapy. In the last video I talked a little bit about Swedish massage versus therapeutic massage. Today we're going to dive deeper into what really makes them different and yet still the same. Personally, I kind of use them interchangeably, but other people definitely do not. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk a little bit more about modalities, massage modalities, and how they fit in with massage, and just explore the field of massage a little bit more in depth. Throughout the next little bit, we will talk more about specific modalities and specific styles and things like that. But today we're just gonna kind of go a little bit further than just the top layer. So let's get on with that. So let's talk about the Swedish massage versus therapeutic massage. The two types of massage, they're general. This is the most generic terms we could think of, or that the powers that be of massage thought of in terms of massage. They're not modalities. They are the basics of massage. They are what is taught in massage school. 99% of the time in massage school, you learn Swedish massage. You'll kind of understand therapeutic massage, and maybe you'll start working on that in massage school a little bit more because the Swedish side just isn't vibing with you. But to be honest, they are very similar. They are very much the same, and they are very generic. They are the cookie cutters of massage. The big difference that I have found from talking to other massage therapists and within my own career is the intention. So, like I said, they're both generic. They both create a relaxed feeling within the client, and they also work the muscles. Both do the same things. Some people say they're different because of pressure. Light pressure can work muscles just as well, sometimes better, than firmer pressure. Firmer pressure can be more relaxing to people than lighter pressure. This is why I say I don't really see a difference between the two, but some people say it's pressure. Some people say, well, one's relaxation and one's working. They both work muscles. They both create relaxation if they're done per the client's, request. But for me, like I said, intention is there. If I'm going into a massage and my client says to me, I just want to relax today. I don't want you to really work any muscles. I just want to relax. My intention will be for a relaxation massage. Doesn't mean I'm going to go real light. I can't go light. I cannot do light pressure if my life depended on it. But I am not going to sit there and dig. I'm not going to necessarily use a forearm or an elbow, but I am going to give the pressure that this client normally receives, because that's what helps them relax. So if they want a firmer pressure, they're going to get firm, but they're going to use different techniques. And this is what, the generic basis of massage is based on, are these generic techniques, 5 strokes, 5 types of work. But my intention with this client, because they requested it, is going to be relaxation. The intention is there. So they'll come out of this feeling really relaxed. their muscles will still feel better. They're just not going to get worked like they're used to. And say I have a client come in and say, I am so stressed through here, or my arms are killing me because of the work I do, or my legs are killing me because I'm standing all the time. Just make them, work them and get them to stop feeling so tense. My intention is now therapeutic. My intention is no longer just relaxation. It is about making the muscles feel better. So it's about working the muscles, relaxing the muscles, removing the tension from the muscles. Again, I am not necessarily going to use a firmer pressure on this client. If they like medium, they're going to get medium. If they like firm, they're going to get firm. I'm going to use different techniques to work the muscles. I'm probably, for legs, especially if it's in the hamstrings or the thighs, I'm going to use specific, pin and stretches. I'm going to use forearms. Maybe I rarely use an elbow in the quads, but I'm going to do more work. It's not going to be a focus on relaxing them. It's going to be a focus on making those muscles relax, making those muscles release the tension they're holding. And we do this by incorporating other modalities. So the intention is there. This client that gets the work done, that really wants their legs to relax, wants their neck and traps to relax, wants their forearms to stop hurting, they're still going to feel relaxed. But their muscles are going to feel a lot less tense. That's what's bringing in the relaxation. So whether you're talking about Swedish massage or therapeutic massage, like I said, a lot of places will differentiate between the two. It's really about intention. If you go someplace and you sign up for a Swedish massage and you tell them you want work, they're going to give you work, but you're not getting a Swedish massage. You're getting therapeutic, technically. If you're going someplace and you ask for a therapeutic or schedule a therapeutic massage and you ask to relax, you're going to get a relaxation, but it's still going to be therapeutic. So I personally don't understand why people make a big deal about whether it's a therapeutic or a Swedish. It's a massage, the basic massage, and it is awesome, whether it's therapeutic or relaxation. I love them both personally. I just tell my therapist, do what you feel like my muscles need. That's literally 99% of the time what I say. Sometimes I'll say my back's tweaking a little bit, or my knee's messing with me, or my arms are just really tired, my hands hurt, something like that, and they'll work that area. But for the most part, they give me what I'm used to, a therapeutic massage that works and releases muscles and yet is very relaxing. So that's the basics of massage in a nutshell. So I kept saying we use different techniques, we just use different strokes, things like this. So in these generic massages, and when you first start going to massage school, you learn 5. There are 5 basic strokes or techniques that everything else is built on. Every other modality, every other technique, every other tool in the toolkit that a massage therapist uses is based or uses one of these 5 types of strokes. The first one is effleurage. Effleurage is the long, open-handed strokes that you feel when they're moving the oil or lotion around. Long strokes. Usually they start out lighter and get firmer. That's just warming up the muscles. They're great to start and finish like an arm. You start with the effleurage and you finish with the effleurage. And then you do effleurage on the leg to start it and effleurage to finish it, and on the back. And it's the long, open-handed strokes. Petrissage, that's the kneading kind of stuff. That's where they're not poking, but pulling and kneading like calf muscles or traps. When you see people, doing, the traps like this, that's petrissage. It's a kneading stroke. So again, basic strokes. You start out with this, you work the muscle with the petrissage, then you finish with the effleurage. But there's 3 more. So then we start getting into when we get muscle knots or muscle, tension, and we have the other 2 that I like to use on that, and that's vibration, which goes with the muscle. So it's like friction, which goes across the muscle, goes against the muscle, and vibration. Both are really awesome in terms of reducing tension in the muscle. Personally, I use friction a whole lot more than I use vibration. Vibration is not something that's really easily sustainable. It's very, especially around the scapula, great around the scapula. It's also really great in the feet. Not so great pretty much any place else, for me anyway. Other people use it, I'm sure. But personally, I like using the vibration around the scapula and in the feet. That's where I use it. Friction, I will use on calves. I'll use friction with petrissage in calves and quads and forearms, and in biceps and triceps, and you start melding them together. The last one is therapeutic, and that is where you're doing the patting on the back and making the noises or doing the chopping. Lots of people end a session by doing that on somebody's back or down their body and back up when they're face down. I personally don't like the feel of it, so I don't tend to do it with my clients. It's not a requirement, but it's an option. I have clients who love it, and I will do it for them because they request it. But if they don't ask for it, I'm not doing it. So those are the 5 strokes: the effleurage, the long broad strokes with the open hands, the petrissage, which is the kneading, friction goes across against the muscle, vibrations more with the muscle, and then therapeutic. Those are the things that make up the Swedish and therapeutic massages. Do you see why there's really not a big deal here in terms of which is which? So now we have that. Let's talk a little bit about pressure. And I know everybody's thinking, oh, deep tissue that's a modality. It's not a pressure. Back it off. We'll talk about that another time. There are 3 main types of pressure when we come down to learning massage or getting a generic massage: light, medium, firm. Light, medium, and firm are all based on perspective. Your light may not be the same as my light. Your medium may not be the same as my medium. I guarantee your firm's not the same as my firm. Anyway, pressure. And you can have, I like it to be light on my arms and medium on my legs. I like medium on my shoulders, but I like light on my hands. This is normal. You can have different flavors of pressure all over. You do not have to have light all over. You do not have to have medium all over. You can have a medium light. It's all in how deep you like your work. So when you have your massage therapist, and you might be like, why do they keep asking me this? Because they want to give you the pressure that you like based on your understanding of that pressure title. So if you say, I like medium, and you tell your massage therapist, I like medium, what's medium? So what they're going to do is they're going to work with you as they start your massage and say, how's the pressure feeling? Is this the pressure you really like? Should I, do you need a little bit more pressure? Things like this. This is to make sure they understand your perspective of medium. Because I can tell you, in a class of 8, when I was in massage school, at one point we had a class of 8. No two people had the same idea of medium. We were close. Some of us were close. But no two people had the same idea of medium. This is why we check it. This is why, especially if we've seen you only 1 or 2 or maybe 3 times, we'll be asking still, is this a good pressure for you? Is this a good pressure for you? And you may get really tired of it and never come back to see us, but you're going to have the same issue with any good therapist. They're not going to be able to read your mind and know what medium means to you unless they ask. So, does everybody love medium? Absolutely not. There are people that hate anything more than a light, very superficial, very relaxation, very don't even think about working the muscles, just kind of, and that's what they want. And that's fine. And then there are the people that want firmer, and that's what makes them relax. They can't stand the idea of a light massage. I'm one of those people. If somebody were to try to give me a massage that was a light pressure, I would be like, I'm done. You can stop. I'm out. I wouldn't lay there and take it. To me, that was punishment. To me, that is horrid. So I am forever asking clients, is this good? I might have worked with a client for a year, and I still might every so often say, is this pressure still good for you? And sometimes they say, yeah. And sometimes they say, ooh, could you go a little lighter today? And sometimes they say, no, I could use a little bit more pressure. I can't believe I'm saying that. It changes as your muscles get more relaxed and as they lose the tension and as you get into a routine with your massage therapist, you're going to have changes in what you like. It's not going to necessarily be drastic, but you may have changes. And you may say, I like it a little more pressure right here. Or it's really tense today. Could you just give me extra pressure right there? And that's fine. So when you're hearing your massage therapist keep asking you this, it's because they want to make sure they're giving you the massage you want. Not the massage that they want. You tell me medium, and I'm going to give you a medium. And unless you tell me that's a good medium, that's on you. I do know people that have worked with clients, and afterwards they're like, oh, that was the worst massage. They did not use medium. And I've, and I ask these people, and I say, did you tell them what medium was for you? And they're like, what do you mean? It's just medium. And I have to explain this to them. Yeah, your medium is not my medium. And they get it. But a lot of people don't think about it. It's just, I want medium pressure. They don't teach us that in school. I don't know of any massage schools that say this much pressure is medium. Because I guarantee you, their clients are not saying this much pressure is medium to a specific number. It's not happening. So bear with your massage therapist, especially if they're new or you've just started seeing them. Talk to them about what medium is to you or what deep is to you. Or I know deep's not a pressure, but talk to them about your expectations of pressure and bear with them when they keep asking you. In school, we're taught, ask on the neck, ask on the arms, ask on the legs. My teacher said, ask on all those places, front, face up and face down. I figured if I didn't have it by face down, they were getting what I give them. But I never really, by the time I got to the legs, I kind of figured it out. Next time I saw them, I'd ask again. Because until you work with somebody for several months or a year, depending on how often they come, the massage therapist, I'm not going to remember. I can put in my notes, they liked medium, and I'll put like medium light or what my version is of what they like. but I still check in with them. I have some clients I've had for 4 or 5 years, and I still check in with them occasionally, just to make sure we're still on the same page. All right, so now we've talked about Swedish versus therapeutic and how they really are the same things, just intentions different. We've talked about the 5 different main kind of generic strokes: effleurage, petrissage, friction, vibration, and tapotement. And we've talked about the 3 types of pressure: light, medium, and firm. That's your basic massage right there. Whether you go to a salon, a wellness center, it doesn't matter. That's the basic massage. So, what do we talk about when we say trigger points, or when we say we're using this modality? Modalities are specialized forms of massage. There are over 300 different modalities. So the chances of you having somebody who has all modalities is slim and none. Usually people specialize. Personally, I specialize in pain management. So a lot of my modalities are focused on reducing pain, specifically chronic pain, back pain, shoulder pain, any pain. It's all about the pain. I also specialize in manual lymph drainage, which is not lymphatic massage. They're different too. We'll talk about that another time. But again, that's about recovering and detoxing. These are specializations. So some places charge extra if they use specialties. Some places don't. Cupping is a specialization. Gua sha is a specialization. Myofascial release is a specialization. These are all things that I've heard people saying recently. Manual lymph drainage or manual lymphatic massage is a specialty. So if you ask for a therapeutic massage, you may get some of these specialties in there. They're not going to say, oh, I'm doing this for you, or I did this modality for you. Because if you're asking for the modality as a whole, you're going to pay more. That's not part of the generic massage. They have special education for that. They're going to charge more. But if you have a really bad trigger point, they're probably going to work it for you, because most massage therapists I know couldn't let that sit. Even during a relaxation massage, they're still going to work it a little bit. So the modalities are awesome. Like I said, there's over 300, and we will talk about a lot of them on here. I don't know them all, obviously. I'm definitely going to talk about the ones I know, and those I don't, I'll either research or find somebody who does know how to do them and get them to come in here and talk to us on it. Because, you know, modalities are awesome. And like I said, there's hundreds of them, and they're fun, and they are what make massage more than just the generic massage that we learn in school. So I hope this helped a little bit about the different types of massage in terms of therapeutic and Swedish, and that in all reality, there's very little difference between them. It's just intention, and that intention is where the differences lie. Well, just if you got anything good out of this, please hit follow, subscribe, like, share. We'd love to get comments, ask questions. We will always respond. If we get a lot of the same questions, we'll make another video. So hopefully you, like I said, you got something out of this, and we will see you next time. Thanks.